Everybody, welcome back to the channel. Liam here, and in today's video we're taking a look at the POC Link POC Ultra global communications radios. Now, just for full transparency, POC Link did reach out to me and offer to send me a couple of these radios for free to try out, but they did not give me any kind of script. They have no say in what I tell you in this video. All the opinions are my own, and they will not see this video before you, the public. So let's go ahead and take this inside to the table, and we'll open up the box, see what all we get inside. Then we'll go over the controls on the radio, the menu system, all of that good stuff. And then my wife Tina and I will demonstrate the radios for you as part of this review. Okay, so we're going to open up the box here. And inside we have the POC Link Ultra radio. Very nice looking radio. Compact, and we pull out the insert. Let me get that pulled out of here. Come on, there we go. And we have the POC Link Ultra manual, and it's folded up accordion style. It's got all the information that you could possibly need to operate the radio. And then we open this compartment, and inside here we have the wrist lanyard as well as the belt clip. So this is the belt clip here, and this just clips onto the outside of the battery. And then of course the lanyard goes through the two lanyard slits in the radio, so you can loop it around your wrist and not worry about accidentally dropping it. Oh, and I opened this one the wrong way and tore it a little bit. And here is the USB A to C charging cable and the actual battery pack. So very similar to the little HT ham radios, because I'm a ham radio operator, so I'm familiar with those kind of things. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the belt clip on here, if I can get it lined up right, and get it to slide into the little track and lock in place. There we go, we got that. And this is the back side of the radio. This is the SIM tray cover. So if we pop that little cover off, it's a little bit tricky to get it out here. Let me get it here. There we go. And in the bottom there, we have the 4G LTE SIM card, because the radio will work via 4G LTE as well as via FRS family radio service. So now we power the radio on. Give it a second to boot up here. And link on appears. And there we have it. That is the radio itself. Okay, so now that we've unboxed the POC radio, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the physical controls. So on the front here, we have the analog push-to-talk button, as well as the OK menu button and the back or cancel button. On the side here, we have the 4G LTE push-to-talk button, as well as up and down arrows for navigating through the menu, changing volume, all of that good stuff. On the top, we have the physical power on and off button. And on this side, we actually have a port that opens up where you can add on a headset microphone system, similar to what you can with ham radios. So all fairly common and standard things. And of course on the bottom, we have the USB-C port for charging the battery. So let's go ahead and turn the radio on now. Okay, so as you can see here, we have two different sections on the main screen. The top section in blue is for 4G LTE communication.
POC Link radio is now connected.
There we go, sorry about that. And the bottom green section is for analog FRS family radio service communication. So you can use either style of communications. The great thing about that is if you're out in an area where there is no cellular coverage, the radio will still work on the FRS FMCB frequencies. So you would still be able to maintain communication. Now, if we go into the menu, the first section we have is group. And if we click on that, we can view any groups. We can view a list of any of the groups the radio is associated with. We can share a group. We can create a new group. Now, when you go to share a group, you can share it either via a group code, like so, and then you would punch in this code on any of the other radios, or you can do it via Bluetooth share, and the radios will communicate with each other via Bluetooth to link up and create a group. So fairly straightforward there. If we go back, let's go back again, and then the next section we have is member. And that's where you can view a list of members in a group. You can initiate a private call or a voice call from that section of the menu. Under modes, we have POC plus analog. We have POC only and analog only. So in the mode I'm in now, you can do both 4G LTE as well as analog radio. But if I change it to one of these other ones, see, now we have LTE only, a single screen. And if I go back in, whoops, let me go back up one. If I go back in and I can scroll down and change it to analog only, now we have just the analog, and you can tell by the green, and there's no LTE signal up here. And we can go back, go into the menu again, and put it back to the default, which is POC plus analog. So you'd have both 4G LTE and analog, and you can see we have LTE signal right now, so we're good there. So next we have in the menu, we have analog, and this is where you can select the channel you want to use, and you can also set a privacy code. So in other words, any of the radios in your group would have to use that privacy code in order to be able to communicate with each other, and it would prevent other people from listening in on your conversations if you needed that. If we go down to POC, that's where we can see online users. We can view SIM card, IMEI data. All of that good stuff is in this subsection. You can view the GPS. It'll show you the GPS location if it has a lock on with the satellites, which I don't at the moment because I'm indoors. But you can access all of that. You can view the APN data and so on and so forth. Now, if there's users online, they will show up with an icon next to them. So that'll let you know if they're online or offline or what their status is. So if we go back again, go down, now we have the Bluetooth menu. And this is where you can turn Bluetooth on and off. You can scan and you can check connected devices. If we go down to settings, this is where you can change the display settings, the volume settings for the voice prompt menu you heard a little bit ago. We can set the power mode. We can set see signal value. We can set priority. We can view battery status, system information, and we can also update the firmware if it needs to be updated. So I'm having it check right now, but there shouldn't be a firmware update because I just recently updated these. Oh, it says it is preparing to update, so I thought it was already up to date. I just did an update a couple of days ago, so I'm kind of surprised that it's doing an update again. But we'll let it run through this process for a few minutes, and then we'll continue on from there. I'm not going to make you guys sit through all of that. Okay, so navigating through the menu system is pretty straightforward. I've showed you pretty much all of it.
Bluetooth.
We go to system settings. That's where you can, like I said, change display brightness, volume level, wake up by in-call setting, power modes, signal value, priority, battery status, system, updates, and then you can also do a factory reset. So now that this one's fully up to date, we're able to go through that. And then if we scroll again, we're back to the group menu. So that's all of the menus in the POC Link radios themselves. So now that I've demonstrated and shown you the menu system as well as the controls on the radio, my wife Tina and I will be testing out the radios. I'm going to travel out to an area not far from our house where I know there's no LTE signal at all. So we'll test it first. We'll test communications where I have 4G LTE service, and then we'll test it without the 4G LTE service and use the FRS or family radio service analog side of the radios, so that you can see how both of them work and how well they are able to maintain communications between myself and my wife. Okay, so now in addition to all the other items I've shown you, under settings you also have the option to link to app, and there is a smartphone app for the POC Link radios. So if I go in here, let me find it. There we go, POC Link. And you can sign up using Facebook, your Apple ID or Google ID. Any of those will work. I'm just going to use my Apple ID. And sign into the app. Okay, and now you can see that I actually have my radios already linked to the app, and it'll show you, information about the radio itself. It'll show you the devices online, the battery status, the current group it's in. You have access to SOS, quick voice call, device location can be turned on and off for tracking purposes, location reporting interval 5 minutes. You can see the 4G LTE signal strength, your latitude, longitude, all that good stuff, as well as the IMEI, the ICCID, and the software version that you're currently running on. So all of that information can be gleaned from the POC Link app. And let's see, if I go here, now down here, you can go to the groups tab. It's showing no groups joined currently. You can view locations, joined groups, as well as devices. And then here you can set up your profile settings, SOS records, access the frequently asked questions, version update, about, and delete your account if you so choose to. But that's pretty much straightforward. And of course, you can do certain functions and settings within the app. You can do bulk update devices, self-create groups for all linked devices, or temporary call for all linked devices. If I click on the radio itself, select one of the radios, I can go in here and create a new group from here, join group from here, and join via QR code. So that can make it really easy. So you can manage a fair amount of capabilities of the radio from within the POC Link app as well. So I wanted to make sure I demonstrated that for you in this video as well. Okay, so right now we are going to go down the road here so that we can test the POC Link radios. I'm going to go to an area not far from my house where I know that cellular service works, where I can get LTE service, and we'll test that side of the radio. And then I'll go to another spot in the opposite direction from my house where I know that there's no LTE coverage, no cellular coverage of any kind, and we'll test the FRS side of the radio. So we'll be there in just a moment. Just a quick drive down Bowmantown Road here to a side road where there's a small, really tiny subdivision that's going in down by Mayo Lake. They've got a nice long blacktop road here that's hardly ever traveled, and we can do the cellular test from down here without any worries at all. Don't have to worry about being in the way of traffic or anything like that. So that's what we're going to do now. Okay, so now here we are. We're a couple of miles away from my house, but in an area where there is LTE coverage. And I'm going to go ahead and talk to my wife, Tina, so you can see how well the radios work over LTE. Hey, honey, I'm on camera now, just letting you know. Are you still able to receive my signal okay?
You sound pretty clear.
Excellent. I appreciate that. Now I'm going to go ahead and come back up past the house and go out Buck Street, and then we'll test the other side, the analog side of the radios, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, so now that we've tested the LTE side, I'm going to head in the other direction from my home where I know there's a cellular dead area, and that way we can test the analog FRS side of the radios and demonstrate that for you as well. So I'm just going to head out this road all the way back to the end of this road. It dead ends at a horse ranch. But I know for a fact there's no cellular service back here at all, because people that live on this road will frequently come down to the intersection of this road and the main road and park and make their phone calls on their cell phones because they can't get signal back here. Okay, so we got that sorted. She was a little bit busy for a couple of minutes there, so now we're going to try her again. Are you able to hear me okay, Tina? Remember to use the correct button to talk to me, honey. Well, that's weird. We were just talking to each other a minute ago. Nope.
Okay, sounds clear.
Okay, good. All right, thank you. I appreciate you helping me test this out, sweetheart. I'll be back to the house in just a few minutes. I love you.
Love you too. See you in a minute.
So there you have it. We have successfully tested the radios in both a cellular area, LTE, as well as a no signal LTE area, or no cellular area, which is where I'm at now. So we use the FRS side, and both sides of the radio worked fantastic. The audio quality was really good. Signal strength for FRS was showing that it was strong on both radios. So I'd say that's a successful test. Now we'll go back to the house and wrap up this video. Okay, so as you were able to see in the communications test with the POC Link POC Ultra radios, these radios do work absolutely fantastic. I love the fact that you have both functionalities in a single radio. You have 4G LTE communications, and then if you happen to be in an area where there's no cellular coverage, you can fall back to the analog communications using the global FRS, which is Family Radio Service, basically FMCB, to maintain communications that way. So these radios are absolutely fantastic for someone like me who loves to go out by myself and do wildlife and nature photography, landscape photography, things like that. I don't always want to carry my cell phone with me because it's too much of a distraction with all the apps and notifications and all that garbage going on. It's a lot more relaxing for me and to just have these radios instead for me to maintain communications with my wife. That way, if she needs to get a hold of me for any reason or an emergency comes up, she can reach out via the radio. And if I'm in a cellular area, she can hit me up via cellular. If not, she can hit me up via FRS. So either way, we can maintain great communications. I really like these radios. I love the fact that they're so small and compact, yet they're built very durable and rugged. Like many of the, what we call HT ham radios, which HT stands for handy talkie. That's what it's short for. But I just absolutely love that these are so similar to ham radios, but unlike a ham radio, you don't need a license in order to be able to use one of these. You don't have to take any kind of FCC exam or anything like that. I love the fact that they have unlimited range. You can do private talk. You can do group talks. You can connect with the app, as I showed you. They have extremely long battery life, which is great. The FRS side has access to 16 channels of totally free family radio service FMCB channels. So you have those. It'll work off the grid. These will work off the grid. They have Bluetooth mode as well as noise reduction, which is absolutely fantastic and makes these absolutely handy to have. Now, if you want to pick up some of these radios for yourself, I will leave a link down in the description below. That is going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video to the end. Don't forget to smack that bell and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video.